I'm Dave Dahl, creator of Dave's Killer Bread, a well-known, against-the-odds success story. To give back, we built a podcast studio called talkcastPDX, a state-of-the-art facility to produce your own podcast. talkcastPDX is a place where every opinion is accepted. If you've ever thought about it, do it. Use your voice and make a difference at talkcastPDX. I'm Dave.
Citizen Smith.
Here's a man who would not take it anymore. A man who stood up against the scum, the dogs, the filth. Here is someone who stood up.
It's time for Citizen Smith.
Good morning on this Wednesday, August 25th, here at talkcastPDX and Citizen Smith. The announcement now by Governor Brown of Oregon says that mask mandates for outdoors now, as well as indoors. When I first heard it, I was like, overreaction?
No.
Government overreach?
No.
Extremism? That's my first reaction. And the only state in America to do so thus far. That means when the Oregon State Fair starts Friday, all masks required at all times. Go to an outdoor event like the Timber. Masks. Timbers, thanks. I was waiting for the correction. All masks must be worn. Are they also checking for vaccination, did you say, Justin?
Yeah, Timbers are checking for vax cards, and then I believe the Ducks games and the Beavers games, football.
So you have to have your vaccination card available to be shown. You have to wear a mask throughout the event. We're getting extreme. Can't get any more extreme than that. And Governor Kate Brown announced these restrictions yesterday, requiring people to mask up at large outdoor events such as concerts, sporting games, and physical distancing isn't possible. That's when you should be wearing a mask. I really thought in my mind that when I got rid of my mask, I was like, oh, I'm never going to see you again. I'll just put you in a little bag and tuck you in the corner. But that's not the case. By the way, the Oregon health officials who are, advising the governor went to this mask requirement for outdoors after 60 COVID-19 cases to the Pendleton Music Festival resulted, and 160 cases came to the Watershed Music Festival, both held in one state, in Washington, and that was what sparked some of this reaction and mandates. Mind you, the CDC's guidance says people who are vaccinated do not need to wear a mask outdoors, and still maintains that the risk of transmission in outdoor settings is minimal. But here in Oregon, minimal is enough to mandate. Don't agree, but, Oregon goes by measures that are more extreme than most states. That has been our history throughout this pandemic. And that's where we're at. So, with that said,
We got Jordy waiting on the line too, by the way.
yeah, I heard you. And Jordy Trachtenberg is joining me from Vietnam. So as strict as things are here in America, they aren't as strict as Vietnam. As I talked to an expat from America living in Vietnam, which is in a lockdown mode, which, by the way, I'm anticipating that as well from our governor. Because honestly, if you want to stop the variant from spreading, restaurants and bars are the leading cause for the most likely transmission place and location. If you really want to nip this in the butt, you'd have to go into lockdown mode like New Zealand, China, which says they erased the Delta variant with their lockdowns, whether you believe that or not, and Vietnam, which is now in a full lockdown mode with the military assistance.
Yeah.
And joining me is Jordy Trachtenberg in Vietnam. How are you, Jordy?
Xin Chao. Hi, Ken. Thanks for having me on your show. How's it going?
Pretty good. So what part of Vietnam are you in?
I'm in District 1 in Saigon, in Ho Chi Minh City.
How long have you been there?
I am here a little over about 2 years and 3 months, and I have a temporary residency card and my work permit. Like, I consider this my home, and it's yeah.
And again, how long have you been there?
About 2 years, three months. Yeah. Prior to that, I was in Cambodia for about a year in Phnom Penh, and then I spent about a year in Bang Tao in Thailand.
What are you doing in Vietnam for work?
Actually, I'm more or less a live streamer. Today is actually my 2-year anniversary, and I'm getting it's like a I don't know, like a weird secret of mine. I'm like a secret streamer, but I've been doing it for 2 years for a platform that's now called Live It. And what I do is I run around and I take people through more odd travel, strange temples, pagodas, wats, floating temples, night markets, red light districts, and a lot of street food, a tremendous amount of street food. So, yeah.
How many views you get?
Right now, I'm stopping. I want to move platforms, and I'm relaunching my YouTube channel and my Patreon page. I have about 550,000 likes and about 70,000 viewers. I've been doing it for 2 years, and I fell into it accidentally. I was on House Hunters International for Cambodia, and the woman who placed me on the show called me like a month later and asked me if I wanted to become a live streamer. I had no idea really what it was about, and I ended up diving into it on the of like those people to alternative culture and make them open their minds a little bit and explore the world. But really, it's turned into sort of like a game. It's really horrible. It has to do with like points, and it's just, like, I'm very proud of the content that I create, and I don't want it to be like a game show scenario. That's not what I'm about. So I want to bring it out to like a broader audience. I have like really bad OCD, and I document everything, and I have like hundreds of hours literally from crossing the country in a Jeep from Philadelphia to Portland to a year's worth of time in Cambodia and 2 years worth of time here in Vietnam. And I really want to share it with with the world. I'm really proud of it.
All right, let's talk about the lockdown that's going on there. This just started this week. It's in full lockdown mode in Vietnam.
Well, it actually started a little over 4.5 months ago. I've been inside alone for about 4.5 months. But
whoa. But I just read this week they went into lockdown. You're saying it's been going on longer?
No, not at all. There's a lot. The funny thing is, like, I do watch a lot of the news, and I feel like for some reason Vietnam is like severely underreported on. And you know what?
It is, definitely.
The situation here is a fucking mess. Like this country, first of all, I'm blessed to live here. The best thing about Vietnam is the Vietnamese. They're the kindest people in the world. The food is spectacular, and I've always felt welcome here and loved. And to watch Saigon fall this way, it's a heartbreak. So yeah, originally last April we went into lockdown for a month, and the Vietnamese were amazing. With COVID, they did a lot of virus tracing, and they suppressed the virus 3 times. And you got to remember, like, Vietnam is pressed up against the ass crack of China, and they've been through this with SARS and MERS. So the second, like, we heard Wuhan, they started to immediately take action. They were extremely proactive, like unbelievable. And they beat the virus 3 times. And they were very, very, very proud. You never hear anybody here like, I don't want to wear a mask. That's not how it works here. It's very, very, very different. And lo and behold, a year went by and it was strange. Everybody I knew was in quarantine and in lockdown. And I was like, sucking down 8 coffees and slurping on snails, having a very normal life. And not so much now. This April, yeah. I think it was 4 or 5 months, 4.5 months ago, there was a couple cases of COVID. And then the next thing you know, they said that they thought it was a combination of the British strain and the Indian strain. And then WHO got involved and right away said, no, this is like the manifestation of people not getting vaccinated in India, and it's the stronger strain. It's it's Delta plus. And then the next weird thing that happened was our hospital of tropical disease, 52 doctors who were inoculated twice, vaccinated twice, all of them got COVID and were passing it on to patients. They quarantined the hospital, and that was the first sign of like something's like seriously fucked up. It's not like before. And in Saigon, people live on top of people, and they live with their family, and their family is like 3 cousins and aunt, their in-laws, and like it's really contagious. And the next thing you know, I'm actually in a red zone. And first we were locked down and we were able to get like delivery, and then we were able to get delivery, but we weren't allowed outside without a slip of paper. And I was allowed to go food shopping on Tuesdays and Sundays, but I was still able to get food delivered to me, but now at a checkpoint. They set up checkpoints everywhere. And it's weird because I kind of documented how my neighborhood changed. It was crazy. Like there's these little alleyways everywhere that are like mazes. And the next thing you know, I watched it like come in like a circle, and the alleyways were just quarantined where I was under lockdown. So the difference was they couldn't leave the alley and they were getting food rations, where now I wasn't able to get delivery to my door, but I could walk to a checkpoint and get delivery plus shop 2 days a week. And then Sunday night, the military took over. And you know what?
This is the past Sunday?
Yes. And out of all the, it was the weirdest night I've ever experienced in Asia for a couple reasons. One was it was, here it's called Homeless Ghost Day. In Cambodia, it's Hungry Ghost Day, and it's lost souls wandering around, and it's like kind of like a bad juju day of what I can pick up. And there's a lot of really cool little ceremonies on the street that go around, protecting yourself. So it was a weird, strange day. And then at sunset, this storm came in from my back, and then all of a sudden it started to hail. It was crazy. And then at midnight, the military took over. It's just a really strange day. Look, I have a lot of faith in the Vietnamese government and the Vietnamese people. I know some people feel differently. I just watch them fighting like motherfuckers to make this better. And what's really happening, I think, is the rate of spread is a lot faster than they can, inoculate people. And it's sad. And I live in a scary, right now, like I'm a little bit out of my element there, I'm really worried about water in my apartment. If I run out of water, and I'm worried about if I run out of food, and what do I do? It's,
Because you can't go out and shop right now?
I wouldn't step out on the street. I'm scared shitless. There's military guys with AK-47s. I don't know why they have guns, but they're patrolling the streets. And, it's not like I blend in here, Ken. I'm a 6'1" giant white dude with tattoos. Like, I can't get away with dick. So like, I gotta watch my P's and Q's. And I always, I walk with a lot of respect here. It's not my world. I'm the alien, so I'm not looking for a problem. Not that I think there would be a problem, but at the same time, like, I pick my battles wisely, and there's no need for me to right now to step outside, you know?
So, what's the inoculation rate right now in Vietnam, and are you fully vaccinated?
No, I got one shot. Frustrating, to be honest with you, one twofold. One is I'm sitting here locked in my apartment for 4 months, and I'm watching what's going on in the United States, and it's appalling to see people not get vaccinated. You're self-centered motherfuckers and ignorant and don't care about society. You're outcasting yourself. I know it sounds harsh, but you're not for the better whole of the good. And the reason why it's going to keep spreading is strictly because of you. And I'm pointing my finger at you. And I have friends and family. I don't get it. And to sit here fighting for a shot for myself, where you guys can go to fucking McDonald's and get a free Big fucking Mac with your shot, and watching you guys throw away shots. This country needs vaccines so badly, and to watch the arrogance and the ignorance, man, it pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, here in Oregon, well, America as a whole, we're just over 50% fully vaccinated, and
here it's less than 2%. And I did get one. I did get one shot. I got AstraZeneca, and it tasted wonderful. I don't know what to say,
So not only are you fighting the concerns of having to get water and food, you also have to worry about getting this Delta variant due to your lack of vaccination, being fully vaccinated.
I mean, I have one shot in me. I need one more. I'm still
one
paranoid.
shot is like 50%, right?
Yeah,
maybe less with the Delta variant. Effective.
Yeah, I don't even look, man. It's a hard call because the truth is, I now know people in the States who have had COVID, also have had the shots, and they have kids, and they're getting sick from their kids for another, for a second time. And I saw that, I see people getting sick with shots, but I think the reality is you get less sick. Look, I got the shot, and I had I was fucked up for 24 hours. Not the worst thing. I've had hangovers that were worse. But I'm still, I guess, a little bit afraid of people, to be honest with you. Like, I'm one of those guys that I like wash my hands a lot. Like, I'm that guy. So yeah, I'm like, I wear like a germ helmet, and I go out there with a mask, but I was comfortable with the mask since it's a mask wearing culture. There's a lot of motos, and it gets, so I kind of got used to wearing a mask. I just don't understand why people think it's a big deal to wear a mask. I don't know. Maybe I'm I'm probably the moron, Ken, to be honest. Like, I just can't.
Oregon just, the governor just announced a mask mandate for outdoors and indoors, and I was bitching about, this is an overreaction by government and overreach. You, on the other hand, would say, what's the big deal, given your situation in Vietnam?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This is this is a weird time. This is very confusing, and it's extremely sad. At first I thought there needs to be like a global lockdown for like 6 weeks where everybody just stops. But if you really backtrack and you think about Wuhan and when it happened right before Tet. Tet is like every fucking holiday, rolled up into one on steroids, and it's the largest migration of people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Like, I honestly believe, no one talks about it, the airline industry has fucking blood on their hands. They deposited little COVID bombs around the world. If everybody shut down, if the airline shut down for 4 weeks, right when it happened, this would have went nowhere. But it happened during Tet, and like, China should have shut it down. China should not. And look, who knows where it comes from and how it happens. And I don't think it really matters anymore. It matters that we have a really bad situation on our hands. It's not getting better. And I don't know. I'd rather see people pull together as one versus, pointing fingers. But
pointing fingers is what's going on this recent article just came out. I'm reading from the New York Times. The Chinese conspiracy theories are being put out there by the propaganda machine, blaming the United States for the breakout, and they're putting out stories that it started in a lab at Fort Detrick.
Yeah, no.
In August 2019, and at a nursing home in Virginia, where the COVID broke out, because they're battling with war of words because America says, and Biden says he wants another investigation into the Wuhan lab leak theory of the COVID. So now they're coming back and saying, no, you need to look at Fort Detrick. They were doing experiments with coronavirus there, and that's all but been disallowed by anybody who's researched it and said it's ridiculous.
At this point, I don't think there'll ever be I think it's one of the great mysteries of now. Like, I don't think there'll ever be an answer, and I'd rather people focus on like, what do we do going forward? I think one of the hardest things for Americans to understand is it's a constantly changing, fluid situation. So they'll yell like, last week Fauci said this and this person said that. It's like, last week it was one way. Now it's changed. It's another way. It's called, reacting and pivoting, zigzagging, and like trying to make things better. But I don't get it. Like, what's happened? What happened to America, man? What happened?
Well, in all fairness, like here in Multnomah County, in Portland's greater metro area, we have upwards of 80% fully vaccinated. So you can't be more responsible than that. It could easily get to 90% with what's going on, and vaccination cards needing to be shown to go into certain restaurants and pubs and sporting events. And I think, there's certain counties that are responsible, and there are certain ones that aren't responsible, and that goes from state to state across the union. Republican states and conservative states are battling vaccines more than, say, the blue and Democratic states and counties. But with this new Delta variant and the surge going on, I would think this leads to greater vaccination. And by the way, if you don't get vaccinated, one of two things is going to happen to you. You're either going to get this thing and die, or you're going to get the thing and recover and have an immunity to it.
Or you're going to kill somebody else. You're being irresponsible. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for someone that you could possibly get sick. It's such a fucking selfish act. It's crazy.
It's always interesting to talk to people that are living abroad, like yourself in Vietnam, because you have a much more objective view of what's going on, because
it's not a political issue. It's a human issue, which is what it is. It's like we all shit the same, and we're all going to die the same way. We all spread the disease the same way. I mean, it just seems so simple, but everybody makes it so complicated.
I was in China when the pandemic broke out. I was actually in Xishuangbanna for vacation.
Wow.
And all those flights started ticking off in the airport, canceled. I had to jump on one flight to Kunming, take a train from Kunming to Guiyang, where I was living. And I was the only one on the train, other than in that compartment. And there was like, never done that in China. It's always full. And then when I got there, the lockdown had been kicked in. And then I spent a month there and got sick, actually. I got tested. I thought I had the damn thing.
Wow.
Something else, and just a flu-like symptom, and from my traveling. And then I came back to America, and everybody's, oh, thank God you're back, and you're not in China where, and then like a month later, full pandemic broke out here. So I can appreciate when you're living abroad in Asia, especially dealing with something like this.
It was like watching a tidal wave. Like, I saw it start here, and it was like, it's coming to the States. It's coming, and no one believed it. And then it just repeated itself exactly the same way. It was like, something different's happening here. It's fucked up. It's COVID, but worse. And everybody's like, whatever. Then all of a sudden, everybody now in the States is like, this is fucked up. It's very, very weird. It seems to have gone around the world and then gone around the world again. So
with you in Vietnam, what do you see coming? Are they going to get control of this thing? Is it just too out of control? Is it going to be months before you can get out of the house? How are you going to proceed as an expat living in Vietnam under this lockdown conditions and military enforcement?
I mean,
you could get on a plane and leave.
No, I cannot get on a
You
plane
can't get
and
out of
leave.
there. You cannot get out.
No. No, in fact, before I even start on that, like I really want to say to whoever's listening, the United States Embassy in Vietnam is a fucking joke. It's a joke. It
They
is
didn't
a
help me in
joke.
China. You know what they told me? Get on a plane if you can and to pay what you have to pay. I paid $2,000 to get a direct flight to New York.
They keep sending me bounce back emails that say you're in Vietnam, follow Vietnamese law. Well, you know what, man? I'm 50 travel. I know, and I know to follow their laws. Like, why are you telling me that? And then it's like, we're not here to give you money. If you come to us for a flight home, we're going to pay. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. It's the same. No one answers the phone. It's the same bounce back. And no, there's a lot of logistical problems for me to get home. Forget about the military bullshit for a second. Let's just say it was last week when there was no, this going on. First of all, I need a second shot to travel. I think it's dangerous and irresponsible for me to travel with one shot. So like if I'm going to do this and come back to the States, I'd like to do it with 2 shots. So I'm waiting to get the second shot. Let's assume I had the second shot. There's no way to get, first of all, you need a COVID test 72 hours before you go on a plane. There's no way for me to get that. There's no way for me to get there. Everything is closed. There is zero transportation, both private or public. You can't get anywhere. So like, let's say I was able somehow to get the COVID test in my neighborhood. I still couldn't get to the airport. And now with the shutdown, our borders have been closed, man, for 14, 15 months. It's a whole different, we really had it under control for a while. It's like paradise lost, Ken. It's so sad. So as far as going forward,
Are they allowing flights out of the country?
there are, but like I've heard of people like on my expat boards getting out in places like Da Nang and Hanoi, going through like Hanoi, I guess. But like the city, you can't get in or out of Ho Chi Minh City or other provinces. It's all segregated and locked down. Right now, you can't get from, if you have like a driver shipper pass, you can only stay in one district. You can't go from district. It's really, 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 really locked down. And everything has changed, dude. The air doesn't smell the same. There's no noise. There's no congestion. There's no life. It's just like there's people there's like some kind of triage tent on my corner. They were swabbing people out in the open on the streets for a while. And there's all these people in hazmat outfits running around, and now military with AK-47s. It looks like a zombie movie set. It's like it's incredible. I've been in some weird scenarios. I'm not gonna. This is definitely up taking the cake. I've never had food insecurities before. I'm like, am I really hungry or am I just nervous and I want to eat? I don't know.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I feel sorry for you. I mean,
Don't feel sorry. There's a lot of people who have a lot. There's people here that are like,
my situation here anymore.
There's poor people here that are starving and they're dying inside their house. They're not going to the hospital, and they're like the people are dying here left and right. It may be underreported because I don't think they're maybe as aware of it right now until down the line. I got to ride this out. Maybe I ride it out and it gets better, or maybe, I'm able to get back to America and then figure out what my next steps are. I don't know right now.
Yeah, if for any reason you got COVID, what would you do?
I'd shit myself. Listen, I'll tell
you
you.
can't get into a hospital, right? You're saying that people are dying.
No, I would probably. There are the hospital thing is tricky. The hospital, unfortunately, I got sick in my travels in Cambodia. I contracted hepatitis B, and I was rushed to the hospital in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where they actually have a treatment. They saved my life, but I know what it's like to, have like a medical emergency and be alone and be in Southeast Asia. It's unpleasant at best, and it's scary, but this will make me stronger for something. I'm just not sure what. Hopefully COVID. I don't know. Yeah.
Once you make it through this, nothing will be difficult in the future, the way you perceive things, because it can't get any worse than a pandemic, living in Vietnam, under military rule and lockdown, stuck in an apartment where you don't know if you can get food or water done, when you run out, and you aren't fully vaccinated. Boy, All I can say is hang in there.
Thanks, Ken. I appreciate
Be
it.
safe.
Thank you for letting me tell my story on your show. I appreciate it.
I mean, I would hope that if anything happens to you and you do get COVID and maybe it's a life and death situation, the embassy will then step in and say, we'll get you over here and get you out somehow. That's
You know
what
what?
we're supposed to do.
You know what the ultimate fuck you is, though? It's that the French embassy here gathered up something like 20,000 expats and got them inoculated. We've given millions and millions and millions of vaccines, entitled to one. Figured it out. Why hasn't our embassy done anything?
Why the hell doesn't the U.S. embassies in all of the world have vaccines for Americans?
God,
That's something I hadn't even thought of. They should definitely have that.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. It really is.
Thanks for shedding this light on the situation abroad in Vietnam. Jordy Trachtenberg, expat, hanging in there, trying to make it through the pandemic. We heard the severity of the situation there. You know what? I'm through complaining about Governor Brown mandating masks outdoors and this and that. We're able to get vaccines. We can be responsible. We can get through this. We should be setting the example for the world, not about how it gets done safely and quickly, not battling through things that can easily be fixed. Thanks,
You're
Jordy.
absolutely right. We should be setting an example. That's really what it should be. Thank you very much, Ken. It's a pleasure.
All right. Maybe I'll see you down there, over there sometime. I've been trying to get to Vietnam. Maybe down the road when things get better.
Well, here. Cameron, thank you very much.
All right. Very good.
Bye-bye.
Jordy Trachtenberg again joining me from Vietnam here on Citizen Smith to give us an idea of what's going on there. Startling. Worse than I thought.
Scary. Very scary.
So glad I'm in America. And that does it for today's show. We're going to be taking off Thursday and Friday and Monday. Justin's going to be in Chicago seeing his son graduate from the Navy.
See ya.
So we'll see you on Tuesday next week on Citizen Smith.